All right, Matthew, welcome to episode 98 of the Performance Advantage podcast, where we bring sports science to the people. This week, we're talking how to run a fast 5K and get your 5K PB. And we're going to put a plan together for Matt live on air. So stay tuned for that. Matt and I are both PhD sports scientists who work with athletes from all around the world over a variety of sports, from enduro mountain biking to ultra running and multi-sport. And we work as consultants for various sports science companies such as Training Peaks, who we do coach education for, as well as some others to soon to be announced, which is pretty exciting for us. And we like to bring sports science to you in an easy, understandable, digestible, and fun way so that you can implement sports science, talk about the change that we are talking about here, dispel some of the bro science myths, and make progress in your training in the 21st century. So stay tuned. So, Matthew, we're going to go through getting you sub 20 5K. I threw in sub 20.
Sub 20. Okay. Yeah, we'll set some goals and might as well set a lofty one.
Yeah. So
I've only done one. I've only done one 5K ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you did those sevens like a few years back.
Yeah.
But you came along to Parkrun, and for those probably North American based who don't really have Parkrun,
don't they?
Not really. No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
It's because it originated in the UK. So this is a good background.
Yeah,
Originated in the UK by a couple of dudes. Okay, well, I don't really know a lot of the history about it, but it's a free open access 5K run, pretty much 8 a.m. Saturday morning, everywhere in the world, except North America.
Oh, right.
Apparently. And so you get a barcode which you can download online, and you can go anywhere, any of the races in the world. You can show up, you scan your barcode, and it goes on your account. And it's, as you found out, Matt, not super intense. It's super chill and a fun way to get running, right? Test yourself.
Yeah, well, it depends what you mean by intense, because I went hard and I was like so tired after. Couldn't believe how tired I was.
Yeah. you were very tired. You were very tired.
It's
so
weird.
We were on holiday together up at the what Kiwis call a batch, or like a holiday home at the beach. And so Matt and May were staying with us, and Matt pretty much just lay on the couch all day.
Yeah. Well, it was not even that, and I wasn't sore after. I could tell that I ran and that I ran hard. So my hip flexors and stuff. But it was just like this general tiredness that I had. I don't experience if I do like a hard ride. It's just like, man, I could sleep. And I slept that day, and I woke up and I was like, man, I could sleep. It was really weird. I never felt that. And it was only like 20 minutes of exercise.
Yeah, it was a bit long.
20. Okay, so my time for my first 5K was 22:55. And that was obviously I didn't have my barcode, so I don't actually know the exact time. That was
you had your watch.
That was a borrowed watch, and I was like trying to figure out how to. So we'll go 22:50, which is actually, I looked it up online. That's average for my age. Intermediate is bang on. Actually, I'm slightly better than intermediate, but the average time, around there.
So not bad. What's that as an average pace? Like 425s, 420s, 420 minute per K?
I think my watch said 435.
Okay.
Your watch on me. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect because I'd never done one. And actually the ones I had done before were 7Ks, and actually felt like a big difference. Like 7K for me felt like, well, I was definitely not running at all. I would just do those 7K runs, be destroyed, do the next week. And it was a slog for me, definitely a slog. So this felt definitely like a whole different game. Like I could actually because I have been running, right?
You
And
have, yeah.
when I say I've been running, I run one time per week for 5Ks, and I go just at about endurance pace. And it's in the forest, so you can't really compare the pace. So the pace was way different because I'm normally like on undulating, trails, well, mostly flat, kind of undulating trails. So yeah, honestly, I went into it not knowing what to expect. But like I said to you before, I want to get better because yeah, it just felt cool to be able to do something new. And we're getting into winter here in New Zealand. The trails are not always primo. I don't want to slog it out on Zwift all year, and I don't want to do like hard bike workouts in the rain. Just not interested. I do want to keep riding, but I also want to get faster at these 5Ks. So I figured I'd come to the man with a plan, and we could come up with something that'll work for me, and you can get me my 5K PB.
Yeah. Before we jump into that, can you just describe how the race felt for you? Because I thought that was pretty interesting for someone who doesn't run or do hard efforts compared
Well,
to like your cycling
yeah. Okay. So
or
pretty
mountain
much
biking.
I will say this, my specialty in most things I do is pacing. So uh, basically I was the same pace the whole time. And I knew that I had to start what felt like pretty slow. And then the end of it would be all out, which it basically kind of was. So I didn't do a warm up because for me, running more than 5Ks, I was just like, actually, if I jog to warm up, that will just like burn some matches for me. Like I'm at that level of a runner. So I was like, I'm not going to do a warm up. So, like when you start running and if you start like pretty quick, you're like, oh, my ankle, ow. And then like your knee, and then you're like, okay, let me shake that out. And
I
you
didn't
like,
realize you didn't do a warm up.
no. Well, I thought about it, but I don't think it would have been better for me because
But even just
like
muscles like post activation potentiation, like just
yeah,
at least
yeah, but what am I going to
like blood
potentiate?
supply.
My biggest weakness was going to be actually like going at a good pace the whole time because 5K is basically the longest run I do, and like running fast is like a whole new thing to me.
Yeah.
And it was on the road, so yeah, I just no warm up. But yeah, the start felt easy. The second K felt easy, and my heart rate generally. So every K was 430 to 435, bang on there. So that's incredible pacing by myself. Thank you. And yeah, the first one felt easy. The second one felt kind of easy. Third one, I think there was like a little bit of a hill. Took it easy on the hill.
Yeah, to the turnaround.
Yeah, I sent it down the hills because I was like, well, I might as well. And then the last K, like I thought I was going to die, but my heart rate was, I think it was like 140 average for the first K. And then it generally went up by maybe 10 beats per minute until the end with a max of like 186, which is actually low for me. So yeah, that was basically it. Battling some yeah, normal runners, we're out there fighting our own battles, I guess. I don't know. It was cool. I liked it. So I want to do more. And that's how it felt. And I want to just be able to go faster and feel like I'm actually able to try the whole time, maybe get a warm up or something.
Yeah, right. Because when we look at the plan or like look at you're fit, right? Like how long could you ride for? I mean, or like you're doing those weekend cross country or like cross country mountain bike races. They're like an hour. You're going hard. Your heart rate would be probably over 180 for most of that hour.
Yeah.
With big massive power spikes and stuff. So you're riding most days, like you're fit. You're not average fit in
Yeah.
terms of like your aerobic capacity.
Yeah, I don't want to play it up like I'm amazing, but like I have been exercising my whole life. So I can basically go out into an event, an endurance event, and like do okay without like having to train as hard as someone else. Right. And then when I do train, which I was training for a 4-day event, and I actually got like really into the training plan that I built. It was a dope training plan. I was like really into it. I lost like quite a bit of body weight. I got like way fitter, but then the event was canceled. And I really enjoyed like being on that plan. And the improvements were like, yeah, pretty obvious, just like actually doing the training. But yeah, I don't want to like make it out like I'm this amazing athlete, because I would consider myself a hobbyist. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I'm comparing myself to professionals mostly because I work with some amazing
yeah,
athletes.
yeah,
And
you were
incredible.
there like a while, a decade ago.
Yeah, it was a decade ago that I was like serious about racing. So
But in terms of that fitness, I'd say you have the aerobic capacity, like the VO2 max, like your training age, not in running, but in like endurance exercise, is such that you could do a really good 5K. So we wouldn't be looking at, if you're looking at that table of norms and you're like, oh, I'm about intermediate, like, well, you have the aerobic capacity to definitely be able to do greater than that. Like, that's why I'm thinking 20 minutes. Yeah, there's no fitness limitations in that. What it is economy and conditioning. Because if you're running like a spastic with bloody like on your hands or something,
oh man, well, that basically was me. And there was a photo of me at the finish, and it basically looks like I'm about to roll into a ball, because I was just basically
like bent over.
Yeah, like you said, pushing a lawnmower.
Yeah,
kind of thing. I did
arms
not look
super
like a
low,
runner.
hands below your hips.
Yeah, but I gotta say, like, my legs look pretty ripped, so it was a good photo. It's a shame I look so stupid. I just look dead. It's very obvious.
It's the end of the race, like the very end, that it was taken on the grass. Like, grass finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so you think there's some possibility that I could go sub 20? I guess one of my concerns, like, we didn't talk about this before, this is basically me getting a consultation from you, right? Because I'm looking at, if someone's not watching, I'm like generally taking this in, like genuinely.
Yeah.
So you think I could go sub 20? Because that sounds pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds out of reach. That's almost 3 minutes. Oh, it's more than 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm thinking over winter. So we've got 6 months. I think you can take a minute off just like within this training plan that I'm about to write you.
Okay.
I don't think, now I'm not gonna outright make the claim, but I don't think I've ever not made someone faster.
Okay.
Over 5K.
Okay. Yeah.
The amount of 5K PBs like that are on my record sheet is amazing. Like, it's almost everyone. I think it's everyone.
Yeah.
Because
that's good.
Yeah. So there's my track record.
Okay. Right? But can I just say how I might be different?
Okay. We'll go one of these.
Yes, I'm just like,
sorry,
I'm
man.
not,
go on.
Like, there's going to be a tall order because I'm not like crazy. Like, I'm one of the kind of people. So my history, I was trained rain, snow, sleet, anything, day and night. That was a long time ago. Now it's like, it's wet outside, or I have this thing I have to do. And then I changed the plan on the fly, right? But like, when I was set on that training plan, yeah, I was pretty impressed with myself. I was able to set with it. But it's like, I don't want to transition to a complete runner. Like, I don't want to give up like a fun ride with the boys. I don't want to like it's a great day for fishing. I want to be like, go fishing instead. So do you think we can do this with just running? This might sound crazy. 2 days a week?
That would be a struggle. See, like, my clients aren't complaining that they have to go running,
But it's also not
so that's why I've been able to, get the results.
Yeah. But it's not like I'm not doing anything when I'm not running, because I'm in the gym 2 days a week, at least, usually 3. I ride 5 to 7 days a week, every week. So it's not like I'm doing nothing the rest of the time.
Yeah,
What I was thinking
we'll just
is like,
okay, here we go.
well, I don't know. You tell me if this makes sense. Like generally my bike rides are pretty like just endurance pace or maybe a bit of tempo. The hardest thing for me is like running fast because I don't do that. What if like my runs were my hard workouts for the week? Is that feasible?
I'm going to share a screen with you.
All right.
And I'll show you.
That's all the things I'm thinking. I'll listen now.
Okay. So we've got, if you're watching, because you can watch this, probably watch it on YouTube because you'll be able to blow it up and have a look. Okay, so
I can't see it.
You can't see it?
No.
Thank you.
All right.
Right. So this is readily available for anyone to purchase. And I just put in a discount code, FAST5. How do you like that? $5 off. So it's like, it's $20. Get it for $15. 6 weeks, Fast 5K plan. Get it for free if you sign up with hashtag Fast with Data Training Group. Anyway, plug done. So here's what we got, Matt. This is my 3 to 4 days a week, 6-week Fast 5K plan. Right. And so let's say you've almost jumped in at week 1 because you've done your 5K time trial, but I want you to do another one. Okay, so let's talk through it. Okay, so your biggest limiters, your inexperience and your running economy and your running conditioning.
Yeah.
Right. So you essentially have no conditioning.
I would agree.
Can't run for 5K and then expect to do well at 5K. It's faster, right?
Yeah.
Like 30% faster, I think you would have run compared to your just general run. Okay, so like I said before, aerobic capacity or like cardiovascular capacity, not limiting. Okay, but the neurological muscle recruitment, so how to run fast, that whole process, that's a learned process as much as it is like a metabolic one. Neurological. So by running fast, which is what, if you have a look at Tuesday, you have 10 200s plus 1K.
Okay.
All right. And so this is done at the 200s. They're going to take you, Matt, probably like 40, 45 seconds. How accurate your GPS is.
Yeah.
And you've got a minute 20 rest. So I've kind of put that as that's kind of like a 2-minute block. You've got a 1 to 2 work to rest ratio. And the goal of that, as well as being like, interval-based training, and you're running speed at VO2 max pretty much. So it's a large training stimulus, but more so you're able to run really fast, like way fast, like for you've ever run. So we're increasing your stride length. We're decreasing your ground contact time. So we're increasing your rate of muscular contractions, and we're increasing the force production, which is the size of the motor units recruited. So we're going right at the other end of the spectrum of kind of anything that you do. So it's kind of like the polarized side of it. And then by putting a 1 to 2 work to rest ratio, you should be able to consistently run fast while getting kind of towards that 3K tiredness. Like, you'd get to 6 or 7 of these and you'd be like, oh man, I've got to do another couple. And then you've got 4 minutes of rest, like just a walk or an easy jog, before we get into 1K at race pace. And so part of that 1K is a lot of it's just establishing what it's like to try and recruit those muscles under fatigue. How can you run at your goal pace while fatigued? And you're actually running a lot slower than you were in the previous 2K, 10 times 200s 2K. And so you're kind of at the tiredness level of maybe 4K, 3 to 4K, because you've had a rest. And so you also get the metabolic stimulus of like, high lactate production, high need for clearance, high like glycogen usage, large stimulus there, increase in mitochondrial biogenesis, increase in acidity, like all that good stuff that interval training does. But this is specific for a 5K. So you have to do this session.
Okay.
Like you have to. Now the other sessions that I have, like, so if we ignore the week 1 because there's a time trial, we'll scroll down to week 2, is aerobic run, 40 to 45, 60 minutes, and 4x1K at 10K pace.
Okay, so slightly slower.
Slightly slower.
Okay.
Slightly slower.
How much do you think my pace would be? So if I do 4:30s for 5K, what do you think my 10K pace would be, like 5 minutes or?
It's similar to like, generally I'd use a 95% multiplier point. Okay. Like, so what's 95% of what are we talking, Matt? 4 6s, a 240 plus 270. What's 95% of, let's just say 300 is 15. So you'd plus 15. So yeah, like 450s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds doable. So 4 times 1K.
So at that, Matt, we're kind of like, it's zone 5, right? So we're looking at that threshold, just slightly above threshold.
Okay.
Pretty much for these 1Ks, which are going to be, for you, they're going to be 5 minutes. You got 4 times 5 minutes at threshold. Okay. Right. And so what we're doing there is, again, we're increasing the work rate across the session, but we're not going to the full demand of needing to do 5K pace, which is extremely demanding, as you found out, like you slept for the whole day.
Yeah.
Because systemically, it's a very, very large stimulus for someone who's as ill conditioned as you to like pretty much eccentric muscle contractions. Yeah. And the size, like that, the neurological component of stopping yourself falling over, especially when you're bombing downhills, is so new to you. Like that's massive.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just say, like, can I ask one question? How do you think I'm going to do, like, running for 60 minutes? Like, the intervals actually don't really bother me too much, but running for an hour, like, I honestly, I don't know if I can.
Well, you can. You definitely can.
Okay.
Because your easy 5Ks are taking 5K runs must be taking you about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is 45 to 60 minutes. Like, like for you, because you need to be able to overextend the load on the muscle, like in an easy aerobic fashion, just so you can adapt at least to the physical damage, the structural damage that's going to occur over the first 3Ks.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely, that's happening across those 2 workouts.
This is so weird because I'm sure, like, if I was listening to someone say this, like 1 hour run, like you can't do a 1 hour run. And now I'm saying it myself because now that's me. I'm just trying to picture myself doing it. And it just sounds tough. Yeah. Which is weird. It's super weird. This is so foreign to me.
Easy, right? Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So what my easy pace though would be what? Like, because actually,
well, it's heart rate based. I put this as a heart rate based run. So you're never going to be going, too hard, whether you're on the trail or anything. And so it's zone 1 to 2. So 75 to pretty much 90% of your threshold heart rate. So you're cruising, like you're jogging.
Yeah.
This is low dose, like stimulus.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, for someone like you, I probably wouldn't jump straight into this plan because it's a pretty big step.
Mm.
Like there's no way you go, oh yeah, I've run, once a week for 30 minutes and I'm going to I'm now going to go like 3
Yeah, just
like 2 sessions and 1 easy run.
Yeah.
We would build towards like, let's do like a real short, like you'd pretty much do just the 10 200s. Then we'll do like a 30 to 45 minute, and then we'll do like targeting, which you'd probably just do 30, and then we'll target like a 45 at the weekend, and we'll just build that for 3 weeks and just get up to so you could do a session and 2 45 to 60 minute runs, which for you would be around like 2 10K runs. So you've at least established.
That's like 4 times the volume I'm doing now by distance.
So you've at least established the base.
Okay.
Fitness.
All right. I'm up for a challenge. Like I'm up for it.
But we like the other, it's So I wanted to present this plan so people could see it and buy it. Like,
Yeah, obviously.
ABC.
Well, it looks like a good plan because like if you're trying to get your 5K PB and this is what you're doing for the week, well, you got 3 like definite runs and then 1 potential bonus one, which looks like it says you can move to any day or delete, which is like a nice option. But 3 days a week of running, that's probably a pretty good week, right?
Yeah. So I have 3 to 4 days, 4 to 5 days, and 6+ days of my plans, the way I structure them. But what this plan is designed to do is I made it for people who are like a bit at a loss. So you've done your marathon or your half marathon or your ultra, and you're not that keen to do a base phase. Like maybe your next race is 6 months away. Like, I'm not doing, like, I want to do a fast 5K. Like, it's like you, Matt. Heaps of runners are like you. Like, it's winter. I don't really want to race. Like, I don't want to do cross country. Like, I want to do something fun. And I'm getting pretty busy at work, as well as athletes do that. And so like, what can I want to do a fast 5K. So I was like, all right, give yourself 6 weeks and smash out this plan, and you'll nail it.
Yeah.
So where there's flexibility within a plan like this for those listening or watching is, we can, or what I'd do is work with, that's where the personalization comes into it, where you're like, look, Matt, we're really going to have to adjust this plan because we're probably only, like, realistically, you've said you're only going to run twice.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make that 2 hard sessions, but I do want you to run 60 minutes. Right. So you're going to be doing the Tuesday session, which is 10 by 200s plus a 1K or 2. It builds, but I wouldn't have it progress for you. Because most, like, this is designed for people who've already run, right?
Yeah.
And so they can handle like a 60-minute run. They're not thinking that that's going to be outrageous.
How can I ask you one thing? Like, if say we do move this plan around, which maybe we'll do, but considering how tired I was from that 5K, like, how much recovery do you think I need from an effort like that before I do something else? Because I've honestly, like, since then, that was Saturday, today's Thursday, I've done 2 mountain bike rides, a weight session, and a hike. And otherwise I felt like pretty tired. So I was like, well, maybe I'll hop on Zwift this afternoon, which was the plan. And then I don't know if I should. Like, am I going to bury myself? I'll tell you, one time we did the Tongariro crossing, which is like, I don't know, 25K hike or something, pretty long. And everyone was so tired. I was like, we had to walk ages to the car down this parking lot. I was like, I'll just run, get the car and pick everyone up. So maybe it was like 3 or 4Ks of running at the end of that. I ran to get the car. It was all downhill. Got the car. Honestly, like, I was ruined for like weeks after that, which was so weird. And I don't really like that feeling, because that feeling makes me maybe not want to like go riding, or makes me Like, I just don't want to be absolutely shattered. That's one of my biggest concerns.
All right. So you don't want to run longer than 30 minutes. You don't want
No,
to run
I
more than
can.
twice a day, and you don't
No,
want to
no,
be
no.
tired.
I don't want to be like absolutely ruined. Like that time, it was definitely like
That's
somehow.
huge. That's you go from 0 to hero. Like, you go from like walking 20 odd Ks and with a 4K run at the end downhill.
Yeah. So like how much rest should someone expect? Like say someone does their first park run. Like someone's listening and they're like, I just did my first park run, keen to get into it. Same position as me. Like, okay, how long is it realistically going to take for them to recover from that before they get into training? Using me as the example.
Using you as an example, well, I would have thought by today, you'd be good to do another interval session.
Okay. So that's 5 days.
That's 5 days. But it rapidly reduces once you are able to build up the the neurological pathways. Like you think about going to the gym or doing strength training or like working in the garden or doing anything like really physical that's foreign. When I did some squats the other day, I was just blown. Like I was blown for like a week. And
Yeah.
because that whole muscle recruitment pattern and pathway, like I never at that load, like under that load, to that degree, it's just so foreign. It's just taxed, right? It's just taxed. It requires so much concentration. It's almost like doing an exam. Like you write, you study for a whole year. Like you read books and you write and you get drunk and then like you go to class for like a whole year, but then you smash out a 3-hour exam and you're just absolutely taxed.
Yeah. Wow.
It's no different. It's no different where you have to concentrate so hard to recruit such a large, kind of almost inaccessible muscle mass in a means that's like pretty foreign across like the range of motion that you're just like systemically worn out.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to avoid, right?
Yeah. And that's where having like, that's where coaching helps.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
that's where you're gonna you're gonna have to upgrade, man. Your coaching. You're gonna have to do one of these podcasts like more regularly so we can touch base. And you're like, actually, I'm like, I got into like 2 intervals and I was barely holding pace or power.
Yeah, we'll have to do more live consultations. Okay, cool. Can we before we get into like the gear that I need, because I actually don't know, can we talk about how I might potentially ruin this with my own customization? So, okay, we got that Tuesday one. That's cool. I'm assuming I'll rest on a Monday. I usually do anyway. Then I'm trying to bang out some rides. I don't want to be running on the weekend. So no runs on the weekend because I would prefer to ride or go hiking. So that means I got that Tuesday banger sesh, which is a good way to start the day. Do you think that that day is also a good day to maybe do some strength training or a ride? Or should I is that hard?
So what
I see you're trying to make a new athlete or something. Or
you can see that?
Yeah, I saw you tried to do something.
It should be paused.
Oh. Yeah, the screen share is now paused, actually. Yes. So Will is making a new 3rd Training Peaks account for Matt Miller. Obviously upgraded me to premium, which is a perk that you get from Will.
Wait, where did it go? No, I got put there. Okay, we're back. I just had to load up Matt's plan. All right. So, Matt,
Cool.
you were asking how you could ruin it with your own customization.
Yeah.
You wanted to, Monday's normally a day off.
Yep.
So, why don't we like kind of jot some of that stuff in here, Matt?
Yep.
So, day off, and then we're going to keep that session, like the 10 times 200, 4-minute break, and then a 1K at race pace.
Cool. So that's the Tuesday.
And then you're only going to be running one other time. And I want you to stretch out that run to 60 minutes.
Cool. Okay. So my other thing is I don't feel like running on the weekend.
Okay. So that's great. Good to know.
Yeah.
So we're probably Friday.
Yeah. Do you think that's enough recovery for me? Like if I do a banger session on a Tuesday?
Well, let's talk through what's next. When are you going to hit the gym? When you like your strength training? When's your Swift?
Okay.
When's your, Smash Fest with the boys?
Okay. So I'll do at least 1 3-hour ride on the weekend, and the other ones maybe 2 to 3.
Yeah. And then you've got.
But the thing is, sometimes I might change it to a road ride, which is like 4 or 5 hours, which is like
pretty
easier,
equivalent.
Probably. Yeah, it's pretty
like on the road. Yeah. Okay. So you stack the weekends for sure.
Yeah.
And Monday's off, so that's cool. Wednesday you has to be easy because you're going to be taxed. Yeah.
Okay. Could I do like an easy like mountain bike ride on a Wednesday?
I'll quote you in saying there's no such thing as an easy mountain bike ride.
This guy. That's true. Like, how hard is that hard run?
Well, for you, like for me, I could do that in the morning, run in the evening. To do what could be a 40-minute session but I've run for the last decade, right? For you, you're going to be, oh man, you've pretty much never ever run this fast. Like this is faster than 5K, which was just what you just did the fastest ever at the weekend. So yes, you can ride the next day easy, but you'd want to assess the situation.
Okay. So what if we do this actually? Because I do want at least one full day. So here's the other things I want. I want at least one just upper body day in the gym and at least one full body day in the gym.
Okay.
And to do those on the weekend is a bit of a tax because on the weekends I'm hitting the trails like trying to smash some downhills, and that's like tough on the upper body. Yeah. So that's
and then we want you want an easy ride. And then are you doing like another intensity based ride?
Well, what I would like to do is have my running kind of replace that.
Okay.
For the winter. So this is kind of like my winter setup.
Yeah.
So 3 rides a week. Only
it's
one
just,
ride.
If we're looking at fitness, actually continuing to maintain and build fitness through the winter season, you really want to incorporate a tempo threshold session, which I have right in the plan, but we know now, we know you can't handle that. You can't go from running one easy 5K to doing 2 VO2 max sesh and a threshold sesh.
Yeah.
And so have you been doing tempo rides this last, block, or you kind of had time off, but in your other one?
Yeah.
That's weird. I
do tempo hills as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice, like when you want to bang out heaps of trails, to just go tempo on the climbs because there's so many hills. So to do like a tempo hill day, which I could do on the weekend, the weekend rides don't have to always be easy. Like one of the actual trail rides can, how it is when you ride with the crew, like they're riding tempo for sure. So you could just extend the tempo, I guess. You're getting in like 20-minute climbs.
Yeah.
You spelled things wrong just like I did. It's always the way on Training Peaks though.
Yeah, I just realized in someone else's plan, Liz, if you're listening, I spelled park run wrong for like the last year.
Yeah.
She'll know, but never mentioned it.
No, I know. I do it all the time. It's
because it
hard when you're
doesn't like,
customizing.
yeah, the squiggly line doesn't pop up. But anyway, so I've made a note there that we
Okay.
want to incorporate tempo climbs.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll add context after our chat, really, about in the comments there. So we've got the tempo stuff, we've got the easy ride. Look, Matt, one thing I'd really want to discuss with you in terms of full body workout and your threshold session, or your speed session, 5K specific workout, would be doing your full body workout in the evening.
Okay.
Afterwards. And so this is something I've been reading up about, the concurrent training and just general, like how we said there's a large systemic stimulus and stress to your system that made you really tired.
Yeah.
Well, actually, some research shows that there's a potential that we could just overload that whole day and not actually influence your like slight, it's not going to be twofold, an increase. It's like could be 1 point, it's only going to be 20% more.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
So like you're in for a big day that day.
Okay.
So then the easy ride has to be easy, and what we have there, because of your fitness on the bike, we can just use that as a floating day. Like Wednesday and Thursday you could easy ride, right? So you got weather, you got indoor, you got like how you're feeling, you got busyness, everything. There's a bit of flexibility there.
Yeah, okay, that sounds pretty good. So the way I'm looking at it, I see hard run on Tuesday with gym workout in the evening. That's cool. I can do that. The easy ride is transferable between Wednesday and Thursday, and you can swap it with the upper body, maybe even double up as well, which I like to do.
Yeah, that's easy, like especially with the upper body stuff.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so that means Fridays, we're into an easy run, and for me, that's going to be like slightly more than I do, and it makes me more nervous, honestly, than the intervals, and then spending some time on the bike on the weekends. Yeah.
So after that, like, I'm not going to sit here and have you guys watch me add context to these plans.
But what you're going to do,
durations.
Like obviously what you'll do is you'll build in, like my rides probably won't change. My strength stuff probably won't change, but you're going to build in some progression for me for the runs, right? Because I'm not going to go from 0 to like extreme hero. We're just going to go from 0 to hard and then become a hero.
So there's a couple different workouts that we can use. I have a 5K simulation, and then I have a like lactate threshold broken, what I call, like, the term broken is from swimming. I always didn't really know why we used it, but it sounded cool. So you'd be like, you've got a broken 400 or a broken 800, and you're going to do that as 4 times 100. Like, wait, isn't it just 4 times 100? But anyway, so after your speed sessions, for 3 weeks, you do the speed, and then we add in the broken 3K, broken 3.4, and then broken 4K, which is all at race pace. And we build from like 600 and 400s, and we kind of just break it down, right? So we front load you at the start with like 1,600 meters of work, which for you would probably be like 7 minutes or 6 minutes, race pace work. And then we're getting real short recoveries, and then tacking on more race pace work, and we build the duration of that. Just like, so by the end of it, you're doing 4Ks with so you're done 4Ks with 3 recovery sets of like maybe 30, 45 seconds. So you're almost done, so you're getting pretty well prepared for for running fast on the 5. And you're trying to implement some of that speed. And we transition that into the weekend run. But anyway, Matt,
Cool.
yeah, so all of these workouts are structured. So they're going to get sent straight through to that Garmin that I lent you.
Yeah, I think I left it in your car. Actually, I left your power meter in your car.
Yeah.
As well.
So
Can I do all these by power instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the power ones as well.
Cool.
I gave Matt a Garmin Phoenix 6 Pro and a Stride power meter, which I have in my arsenal as like, a sports scientist.
As you do.
Loaned it out, and it's, on like Tuesday. So you got Parker on Saturday. This is part of the Willow test, right? 5K run, 1K run, map your critical power, and then we'd have thresholds and everything. He gets to race day. He's like, "Whoa, where's my watch?" And the strides are literally still in the box.
I was just too busy, man. I've been, you know how it is with people working on tech. They're like shambles in tech with the rest of their lives. We got new brake ace, man. I was setting that up. But that should be pretty straightforward to set up because I want my heart rate. I want my core body temp obviously in there. It needs to sync directly to my training peaks. I can bang that out. It'll take me like a day. This is like 5 minutes to set all that.
Next time I come around, I'll sort it out for you. But yeah, so power, pace, but regardless for you, I'd still be keeping that Friday run heart rate based for all the reasons we discussed in our heart rate episode, which was maybe 3 episodes ago, which has been super popular. Despite the fact that it's called 5 reasons you should not train with heart rate, we still like open the discussion of where it is appropriate. And so that's why for you, Matt, because of your lack of conditioning, if I said run, zone 2 power or pace, like you said, you've only run 5K. So your heart rate, you'd fatigue so quickly that your heart rate would indicate that you're working really hard.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be good to be able to do. I've never been able to look at my heart rate live while I'm running because I just use my silly phone watch that only has Strava. It doesn't do anything else. It tells time.
Yeah. So that's interesting because remember when we had Rowan on, who used to work for Strava, about getting like external sensors added, and then they like completely. Anyway. Yeah.
It'd be nice if it showed on my watch. That'd be pretty handy, but you can see after because cool. That's pretty exciting. The only other question I have, like, obviously I'm keen to do it. I want like a new challenge. I don't want to be thrashed, so we'll see how that goes. The other thing is kit, right? So obviously I have a dope top. I have a faster with data top. So I looked pretty sick. I have secondhand shorts that are like a size too big, so they look a bit silly. Socks, you just wear normal socks. Hat, glasses. But shoes, you thought my shoes weren't great. I just have some racing flats from a few years ago that I used to walk around trade shows.
Yeah.
Should I get like some new shoes, and like what should I be training on for shoes? Do you have any like quick recommendations on that?
Look, Matt, we've spoken to a couple of people now. We spoke to PBAX, who are the manufacturers of the super foam that has recreated the landscape of running. We spoke to Dr. Dustin Jobert, Dusty, what is he called? Lab Rat Rundown on Instagram. But he did full-on peer-reviewed scientific studies. Shoes are faster.
Okay.
Right. So you want to give yourself the best opportunity to carve out like probably 6 seconds per K for free at the cost of the shoes.
Right.
You got to do it.
Okay.
You got to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're coming into, what are we in America? Spring, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it
so
is.
The spring, North American spring season is when the new shoes come out. So currently all of the last year's models are on special.
Ah, right. I did not know that. I did know you got like a zillion pairs of shoes. So I figured something was up.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So you would obviously recommend the Alpha Flies, something or other.
Yeah, probably the vapor flies for you.
Oh,
They're just
okay.
a bit more, they're not as well personally, I've found them to be more comfortable all around at a very like a variety of paces. I found the alpha flies, which have like the ear pods, like pockets on them, they're just they're just a really specialist kind of fit,
Okay.
I think. And yeah, from what I've like talked to other people about as well, it's like the shorter, faster stuff, which you're going to be doing, kind of what I would consider like 10K and down. I would go for the Vaporflies,
Okay.
Nike Vaporfly, or the Asics Meta Speed.
Nah. Nikes look cool.
Yeah,
So I'll
Nike,
get those.
that's the one. That's the one you
Yeah.
want. And so, like, I say that because you can just by buying the shoes, right? You're faster,
Cool.
and they're not like I've had mine for 400 Ks, and through the data I can see I'm still getting huge amount of benefit out of them compared
Okay.
to like my normal trainers. So
Cool. Should I shouldn't wear those like on every run I do though, right?
no, so oh yeah, when we spoke to Louise, what was Louise's last name? Kim.
Yeah.
Kim.
Kim Herbert-Luzet.
That was it, not
Yep.
Louise. Sorry, Kim. She talked about the gait transitioning. So there's like a gait retraining that was required with the shoes because of the way they interacted, like the energy return, and so the slight change of hip, knee, and ankle flexion.
Okay.
So for you, like everything's pretty foreign, so we might as well throw them on straight on for those speed sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to like wear them out because they're always like white. You don't want to like show up to your 5K with thrash shoes.
Nah, that's why you have multiple pairs.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna do that. But if I train in those racing flats, they're not worn, but they're not in great shape. Is that gonna be bad, or should I just like be running with my trail running shoes?
It doesn't. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Like so you get better proprioception like in a flat. So maybe if we're gonna do this for 6 weeks, we're gonna do 6 weeks.
Well, that was really gonna be like when can I be sub 20, right? Is like the final question. But I don't see, you tell me. But
Well, not after 6 weeks, but we'll go through that cycle for sure. And so I start with a time trial, right? And the 6-week plan, 5K time trial. And then the last 2 weeks are both time trials as well. Because it generally, as you've found, like you could go faster next week just knowing, like if you go to the same course, right? You just know the course, you know the feel, especially if you're doing park run or other kind of series based 5K. Like, actually, I'm going to go up with her. I'm going to go with him. Like at the start, they paced really well and they were just ahead of me, or like I was in front of them and then they just smoked me on the corners or whatever. You can feel it out. So yeah, you can do that. So the last couple are going to be last 2 weekends are going to definitely have the 5K in there. And so yeah, with the speed stuff, we can use the flats because you don't want to wear them out, the super shoes. But then for that that broken like 5K set, that's where you're doing like 1 to 2Ks at a time, and that would be where you definitely need the feel for it. So you just have to make sure you choose a good day.
Yeah, like a dry day on like clean
Actually,
roads.
the new Nike colorway is like black and purple.
Okay, that actually sounds sick. That'll look good with my top, black and yellow. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Other than that, like you're not going to overheat. You're not going to need any specialist cooling or anything like that.
No, bare bones really, because you don't really need to eat anything when you're doing a 5K, right? Like, am I right about that?
Yeah.
Like it's 20 minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes. So
yeah.
don't need anything.
One thing I would work on with you would be the warm-up
Okay.
routine. Yeah. So I have pretty much, it's like 5 minutes of, for you, it'd be like 5 minutes of brisk walking, some muscle activation, like some single leg squats, 5 minutes of jogging,
Cool.
and then some, yes, like a couple of drills, and then 5 minutes of, like your general run, and then would include a couple of strides for that muscle activation. And then you've done 15 minutes, which would be about 20 minutes total worth of warm up, including the exercises.
Wow. I just
Seen
raised
that
my
space.
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
But actually it's 15 minutes max of running, but it's 20 minutes worth of time.
Okay.
And then you're on the start line. You're ensuring that you're going to immediately recruit the muscles in the most efficient fashion, and blood supply, oxygen supply is already being, supported and stimulated. So you're not getting the O2 deficit that we talked about
Yeah.
in that podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise,
Understood.
like, you're just immediately accumulating acidity and lactate without like the need to, because you were like worried about being tired.
I can see how there's like a lot of room for improvement here.
That's why I'm thinking,
yeah.
like, if you can just literally roll out of bed, get on the start line, and run like a 23 something with
22 something, thanks.
oh sorry, that's what I mean like 23
Yeah.
as 22.50, you'd round
Yeah,
up. You'd
we
never round
down.
up, eh?
No one rounds
No one
yeah.
rounds up.
Yeah.
It's impossible. The course is either long or you stay quiet.
Yeah.
Those are the two options.
Yeah, that one was bang on. So yeah. No, cool. Okay. Well, I guess I got some work to do. I'll be able to get started. Basically, I could start tomorrow. I could start with that endurance run.
You
See how we
would,
go.
you would expect me to finish writing this plan up for you.
Wow. How many days do you need, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, that sounds pretty fun. I got some shopping to do. I got some tech to sync up, and
It's the fun part, right? Like, it's all new. Like, you need an excuse to buy new stuff always. But
yeah, it's like the price of new tires though for your bike.
but they'll last, like the amount you run, you'll be handing them down to my son James when he's oh, I've got some in my cupboard.
Yeah, when he's 6. Yeah, no, that sounds cool. Oh, let's do it.
All right. Are you going to share this on Strava, your training?
Yeah, you can follow me on Strava. I don't know how people would find me, but it always just goes there, whatever is going on, except for my last few rides. For some reason, they didn't sync, which you have to check out. But yeah, you can follow that along and see how I'm thrashing myself. And
yeah, we'll touch base, in 6 weeks as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like, if you go, like, surely I have to get some kind of award or accreditation if you go sub 20 in 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be like your reputation is a little bit on the line here, so you're going to have to hopefully I can stay motivated enough to do you justice.
Yeah, well, I'll be making sure.
Yeah,
I'll pace you as well. I'll pace you.
Cool.
Me and Jim's, I'll get the pram out.
Yep. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Will.
All right.
And if people want this plan, I guess you have it. And I don't know, maybe we can make this one available that I'm going to do, and someone can do the same one. I'm sure there's people just like the plan we made for Steve quite a while ago. That was one of our most popular podcasts, and got some people were enjoying that on YouTube. I still get comments on that one. They really enjoyed watching us make that plan. So yeah, maybe we can make this one available for them. I'm putting you on the spot here. Like, okay,
yeah,
we're going to make it available.
Yeah.
And
once I've made it, I can transfer it onto the training plan store. We can put a link.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Like, we know you don't really look at the links. Like, I don't. But if you really want this plan, like, it's there.
They're not great for podcasts, but they are there. Like, we got some links, so check those out. Give us a few clicks there. And if someone wants to learn how to use running power, obviously we have the running power course, which you should soon. Actually, I don't want to like make this announcement here at the end, while everyone's fast forwarding or skipping to the next podcast. But you're going to be able to get those Power Meter courses on Training Peaks very soon. And that is the very first time we're announcing that. Or you could get our, I forget what our other course is called, but that one was really popular. And then we also have the fundamentals of exercise science on Training Peaks, which is a requirement for level 2 coaches on Training Peaks. So get into that and we'll teach you what we know.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Will. Looking forward to it.
First run.
Let's go.